So we are now looking at M3, M4 and D2. So M3 says evaluate, keyword, look at the pros and cons of different tactics applied by organizations to demonstrate how business objectives can be achieved. So what we're saying is here, how does Apple use their 7 Ps? The 7 Ps being the product, the price, the place, the promotion, the people, the process, and the physical evidence, in comparison to one of Apple's competitors like Samsung. And how does Samsung use it? So what tactics are used? What are the pros and cons of each of these in terms of achieving their objectives? Well, both Apple and Samsung are doing very well, aren't they? And they both have different objectives. So let's go through these. The product in terms of Apple is what? The product is the iPhone. The iPhone is perceived to be more superior. What does the Apple iPhone have, which is stronger than the Samsung phone? It has the branding, the Apple branding. And as you quite rightly said before, the Apple brand, in terms of electronics, is the most valuable brand in terms of electronic goods, according to Forbes magazine. It's the most valuable branding to have. So having that brand is superior. So that's an advantage for Apple. What about the pricing of Apple and Samsung?
Premium prices.
So premium prices for both Apple and Samsung. However, Samsung is priced cheaper than Apple, which means they can undercut Apple. And so they get a lot of sales from undercutting Apple. So for Samsung, that's a strength that they price themselves cheaper than Apple. Okay? What about the product, price, place? What about the distribution? What does Apple have in terms of distribution? Their own stores. They have their own stores. Does Samsung have their own stores? No, Samsung doesn't have their own stores. Samsung goes through other retailers, other phone retailers, and they also sell through Tesco's as well, and other wholesalers and distributors. Okay, whereas Apple have their own stores. So it's good for Apple to have their own stores. Why? The total control, good. They've got total control over how their product is displayed, how their products are priced. Total control in terms of who's selling it. Okay? Whereas Samsung doesn't have total control. So that's an advantage there for Apple. Okay? What about the promotion? What does Samsung do in the promotion?
They put 2 events.
They give lots of good discounts, and they give offers. So they would, on the Samsung 7, they gave a Samsung 7 and a free gift. The free gift was either a 360-degree camera, a fitness watch, or wireless headphones. Okay? And so they gave it, and the prices were quite competitive in terms of everyone else. So 1,000 minutes with 1,000 texts and 3 gig of internet memory was £35 per month, including the phone and the camera, for 2 years. In comparison to everyone else, that was cheaper than everyone else. I know because I checked. Okay, so what about the Apple products in terms of promotion? What do they do? They don't do much, do they? They generally do not give discounts. They don't do discounts on their latest phone. But they will do product offerings and gifts on older models, but not on their existing or latest model. Okay? So again, Samsung has an advantage here. Do they both advertise on TV? Yeah, they both advertise on TV. So they do that type of advertising. Apple tend to do more public relations than Samsung with their new launches. You see, Apple really use their social media, public relations, and give talks and press releases to the papers and the media. And they do it more so than Samsung, which is an advantage for free advertising for Apple. What about the people in Apple?
They are young,
educated. But here the main thing is, the difference between Apple and Samsung is that Apple have their own direct sales force. So their people actually go out and sell the Apple iPhone. Whereas Samsung don't have a direct sales force selling it. Their sales force are trained in store to sell the Apple phone. Are trained to sell the Apple phone. Okay? There's a big difference there. Okay? So again, just looking at some of those things, we've looked at the 7Ps in comparison to Apple and Samsung, and then we're comparing what's strong and what's weak. Okay? Yes?
Yeah.
Now the next one, M4 says produce a detailed, coherent, evidence-based marketing plan for an organization. Which organization are we looking at? Apple, obviously. So here, what it's saying is, we want to see your references. We want to see all your research. So your research, I need to see at least 7 pieces of independent research here. References from books, from lecture slides, from videos, from anything. But what referencing must you use? Harvard referencing. If you do not do it to Harvard referencing, you don't get your M4. If you don't get your M4, you do not get your merit criteria. Understood? You need to get M1, M2, M3, and M4 to get your merit criteria. Evidence-based is all about you showing references to where you got your evidence. Okay? Is everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
So that's M3 and M4 done. Now, D2. D2 says, design a strategic marketing plan that tactically applies the use of the 7Ps to achieve overall marketing objectives. So in P4, you have to produce a marketing plan. P4 it's not so easy. Do you understand? You've got to produce a marketing plan. But first, you have to do what in your marketing plan? What's the first thing you need to do when you produce your marketing plan? Anyone tell me, what's the first thing you need to do? You can't do a marketing plan unless you've done it. You need to have your aims and objectives. You need to have your aims and objectives specific and absolutely clear in terms of what you're trying to achieve, okay? So once you've got your aims and objectives, then you can move on from there. Okay, guys, look this way. So once you've got your aims and objectives, then you do your situation analysis in your marketing plan, and then you do your marketing strategy, segmentation, targeting, positioning, and then you use your marketing mix, your 7Ps. Now here's the point. Just look this way, here's the point. Now, I told you before about the example I had in marketing, where I combined all the 7Ps to achieve your marketing objective. You can't talk about the 7Ps separately. They have to be linked together to achieve your objective. Does that make sense? So, I gave you the example of when I was marketing my stop lock for Metro products. I had £30,000 to use, and then I decided, well, I was going to increase sales by X amount over X period of time. And I did a marketing campaign in Nottinghamshire because it was the highest crime rate area. So I had specific objectives in terms of how many products I had to sell in what time period. And if I didn't hit those sales targets, then I would have been in big trouble. And so I told you that I did a marketing campaign. I told you the marketing campaign, well, we start with the product. I told you I changed the packaging. And I put number 1 in the UK, positioning.
Tested
People,
by police.
100% success rate in police test. Just videoing at the moment. I've got it. I'm just videoing, sorry. I've got, no. So, when we're looking at these, then with the product, I put the positioning in terms of the product on the packaging. I put easy to. We did some marketing research. We found out that people wanted things to be easy to use, highly visible, and secure. So we put on the packaging 10,000 different variations with the key. We put easy to use and highly visible keywords. We also put a positioning strategy, number 1 in the UK, 100% success rate in police test, to give it credibility, and we put a picture of it. So we changed the product in terms of the packaging, and we put the branding Stop Lock. So we no longer put the company Metro Products. We changed the branding from the company to that, to the product itself, Stop Lock. Okay, and then on the pricing, we used psychological pricing. Priced it between there were 4 price bands. under £10, 10 to £20, 20 to £30, and 30 to £50. We priced this at £29.99. So we used the psychological pricing point. And then with the place, we put it in all the stores in Nottingham, in the B&Q, Texas, Motor One, A1 stores, and the independent stores. And then we got the agents to go up there and put the products in the store. But then in the marketing, I produced a display unit. The display unit held 6 units. So automatically, we were increasing the number we're selling by 6 times because only one was being sold in at a time. So now we've got a display unit in store. The agent's gone in and put this up. And we've got 6 products in as opposed to just 1. And then we decided to do a bus back campaign. And then we decided to do a radio campaign. And then we decided to do newspaper ads. And then we decided to do a press release. But do you see how we're using all the 7 Ps? And then we decided to give the stores in-store promotional material. And then we decided to give the staff £1 back for every stock lot they sold. And then we gave a consumer promotion to the end consumer, selling, you had a choice of hotels to stay in, of over 150 different hotels if you bought this product, worth £150. All you need to do is pay for your evening meals. That's it. And you can use it over a period of a year. But do you see how I've combined the whole marketing mix to achieve the